So what does everyone think of the intro? I made it myself, ya know. I'm not exactly sure if I want to be an intro sort of person. I always thought fancy intros were more fit for 15-year-old girls who decorate their MySpace with so much glitter, sparkles and background garbage as to render the entire profile unreadable. Before I get into this video, I want to address something. A few people have asked me why on earth I subscribe to Femitheist's channel. Well, I love her. What can I say? I got a thing for Barbie doll-looking gender Nazi psycho bitches that are batshit crazy, borderline genocidal, histrionic personality disordered and one step away from being an hero. It's my fetish, don't judge me. But since Krista Barbie Hitler, which I believe is her full name, won't give me the time of day, yours truly is going to have to settle for chopped liver. Let's check over at those pesky dames and see if any of them are remotely dateable.
When has being nice about something ever?
Holy Mother of Christ, what the fuck was that? I swear, there should have been a trigger warning. They have a trigger warning for everything else. Is it just me or does she look like the bride of Frankenstein? Well, let's see what else is on the menu.
Hey Dames.
My name isn't Dames, it's actually Razor. So, what would you like to talk about?
I wanted to make a video about weight, because that's been on my mind recently.
Oh, I'd really rather not.
A few years ago, when I was at university, I used to be a lot bigger than I am now. And I was like a fat posy activist, and I was on quite a lot of like body posy forums.
No, sorry, I'm not dating a fatty. Time to move on. Jen, one of my arch nemesises. Nemesis? Fuck it. Oh, but look, you want to know where your Razor is? I'm right here. But I am not sure if I am comfortable with you calling me yours. Men are not property, you know. At any rate, what do you think about going to dinner with me?
Thank you very much.
Alright then, let's just hop in my car, a Bugatti Veyron, and we'll be on our way.
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway. Looking for adventure. And whatever comes our way, we can climb so high.
Well, what did you think of the ride?
Whew. So, that over.
Oh come on, the ride wasn't that bad. At any rate, what was your first impression of me?
Your body is beautiful because of what it allows you to do. Your body is beautiful for allowing you to express your emotions. When you laugh or smile, happiness is written in every single line of your face, and that is beautiful. Your body is beautiful for allowing you to express who you are. Your body is beautiful for allowing you to assert yourself. And your body is beautiful simply because it houses you.
Wow, thank you, Jen. I had no idea you were so impressed by my body. I lift weights, you know. I hate to confess this, but you're a pretty good-looking dame.
You know, my waist isn't small enough, my stomach and legs aren't toned enough. My thighs touch in the middle, which apparently is a big no-no. My hips are too broad, my dress size is too big, I'm too pale. I could really endlessly go on and on.
Oh, stop beating yourself up, you're fine. All you have is a bit of insecurity. Perhaps you've spent so long relying on your looks to substitute substance that you've become overly critical of your body, since a part of you suspects it's all you have to offer the world. But at least you're not attempting to blame this on men, or the evil patriarchy. Just keep your body healthy by eating right and living an active lifestyle. And in addition, make sure you work on your personality. I can help you. The best way to make yourself attractive to men, outside of looks of course, is to be a happy positive person. Be smart, but not a know-it-all. No one likes a know-it-all. No one. Also get some sort of hobby, preferably a hobby you could enjoy together. I know girls typically hate hobbies because it means they have to work hard in order to become skilled at something. And this goes against the juvenile "I want the world and I want it now because I'm entitled" mentality that is so rampant among women post-second wave feminism. But I assure you, men will click with you more when you have skills to show off. It helps us to view you as equals. and most men want an equal to share his life and resources with. You could be a guitarist, or a hacker. Nothing gives me a raging boner faster than a woman talking about the AMD bulldozer, and why its 8 cores failed to measure up to Intel's 2600K Sandy bridge, and was smoked by the 3770K Ivy bridge, which by the way is my CPU. But anyway, computer talk puts me in the mood. What sort of things get your motor running?
In fact, you're doing it right now, even though you might not believe me when I say that.
Oh really? Well, I like where this is going. Oh look, it's our waiter. Hello waiter, I would like a menu please.
Your flesh will want what it wants, but the more you starve the flesh through Jesus Christ, the more your spirit will gain strength.
Yeah, okay. Can I have another waiter? Thanks. So Jen, where were we?
My waist isn't small enough, my stomach and legs aren't toned enough, my thighs touch in the middle, which apparently is a big no-no. My hips are too broad, my dress size is too big, I'm too pale.
Oh god, not this again. Jen, why do you so deeply obsess about these things?
I have spent several years comparing my body to the kind you see on magazines and on TV and in music videos and on billboards, and you know what? My body doesn't match up to what society thinks is beautiful.
Well, first of all you need to quit comparing yourself to human beings who are held up as monuments of unsurpassable excellence, and while society may believe these women to be beautiful, at no point in time are males saying that these women and only these women are beautiful. They are merely noticing the excellence of the human form at its greatest, and I can assure you that there is no patriarchal conspiracy behind it to condition women into this or that, or anything else.
To be honest, I think that one of the most important things we can do in order to enable all of us to have positive relationships with our body is demand diversity from the media. I want to see real bodies, not Photoshop one. And I don't mean piss on the women who do fit the beauty ideal. By all means, let us celebrate those body types, but let's celebrate it alongside others. I want to see bodies which reflect the diversity of life. I want to see women of colour on the fronts of magazines. I want to see fat women on the fronts of magazines, and not with red lines circling their imperfections. I want to see ripped bodybuilder women.
You got it all wrong. We don't need diversity. That's not the problem. You are asserting that society judges beauty based on what beauty magazines display on their covers. You got it backwards. These magazines display the women they do, because society has consistently claimed a certain look is what they find attractive. Also, attraction isn't a choice. You feminist LGBTQ egalitarians and the like constantly remind society that homosexuality isn't a choice, but you seem to insist that heterosexuality is. You believe men like large-breasted women with trim waists because they are exposed to magazines that tell them they should. That makes as much sense as telling gay men that they find another man's ass attractive because that's what they were somehow convinced they should be attracted to. Again, attraction isn't a choice, and these beauty magazines display women that males are involuntarily attracted to. So, the whole argument of needing diverse-looking women and body types in magazines is foolish. And to be honest, there are female bodybuilders on magazines that target the niche group of men and lesbians that find that stuff attractive. And there is fat porn and granny porn, and so on and so forth. But these magazines are niche magazines that target a very small segment of the population. As for wanting more women of color on magazines, you have to understand that these magazines you are talking about are English-speaking magazines. And the overwhelming majority of the English-speaking world is made up of white people. And newsflash, but people tend on average to be more attracted to members of their own race than to others. So is it any wonder why a majority white audience celebrates the beauty of white women? I bet you most fashion and beauty magazines written in Chinese feature Chinese women. And I know for a fact that the majority of Japanese beauty and fashion magazines feature Japanese women. Again, we're talking about averages of a population. Please refer to my Daves vs Mark Spit in my video titled Got Privilege. Oh look, here's our waiter. Hey wait, I know that guy. That's Subman USN. I love his channel. Hey Jen, if you thought my car was something, you should see his submarine. Hey Subman, when are you taking me for a ride in that submarine?
Hey dude, you gotta buy me dinner first.
Well, I guess that'll have to wait until some other time. After the money I spent on gasoline and nitrous oxide getting here, I am a bit short on funds. Oh, that reminds me, Jen, you're paying for your half. because I swear if you tell me I'm paying, I will have to utter the words check your privilege, and that's something I really don't want to have to do. Subman made a video recently about his son having to register for the draft. So tell me, Subman, how is that going?
He has a stepsister who's also 18. And so to conduct my little in-house survey of how she felt about it. So I said, hey, my son has registered for selective service. What do you think about it? She says, well, I have the utmost respect for the people in the military. You know, my grandfather fought in World War II, and my dad was in the military for 20 years. So, I mean, it's not something I would do, but... And I said, no, wait, you don't understand. This is mandatory. He has to register for the draft. And my son walked in at that time, and as he was passing by, made a comment. So that means if North Korea goes apeshit, I get to go to war. And his stepsister says, wow, that's kind of scary. She was not even aware that boys turning into men have to register. This is called being blind to your privilege.
Wow, it's amazing just how often women are blind to their privilege. I wonder how many other privileges they are blind to. Now Jen, I know where you stand on this. Like every other feminist who is confronted with the privilege of not having to be drafted, you'll claim that patriarchy created the male-only draft. Well, even if we just pretend there is a such thing as patriarchy, it's still a privilege for being female, and if indeed the patriarchy granted you this privilege, then patriarchy cannot exist as a male institution to benefit men at the expense of women. And don't even say how you feminists are against the male-only draft. If this were so, then feminist bloggers would blog about this injustice. Feminists on YouTube would vlog about it. Feminist protesters would be protesting about it. And the heads of major feminist organizations would be applying their political pressure to change these rules. And even if you could link me to a couple of blogs or a couple of videos, you know as well as I do that 1 in a million doesn't accurately represent a movement. So just save face and admit that you women have this humongous privilege and always have. And who knows, if you quit sipping your feminist Kool-Aid for a moment, you might realize that women have a lot of privileges. And always have. At any rate, I'll have a Reuben sandwich, the veal, and a toasted bagel with cream cheese. And Jen says she'll take the fish. Now, as I was saying, Jen, about sexy women in the media and body positivity, what gets me is that feminists claim that sexy women in the media cause unrealistic standards of beauty, and this unrealistic standard of beauty causes women to develop eating disorders and low self-esteem. If that's true, just imagine the harm feminism causes by holding women to unrealistic standards of accomplishment. Not only does a woman have to be as strong as a firefighter, but she also has to be as educated as a doctor, and must enter into fields of science where she will be a minority, comparing her accomplishments to the majority. Imagine the harm caused by not measuring up. I mean, as a woman she has to go against all of the male scientific greats of the past like Einstein and Tesla. Look, I don't believe women are as weak and fragile as you feminists claim. I think feminism, however, does encourage women to be spoiled and sheltered, and narcissistic. Males aren't harmed by being exposed to images of sexy men, and when he watches sports he doesn't develop low self-worth because he can't perform as good as all these athletes. Girls, on the other hand, especially in this day and age of single-parent mommyhood, are coddled by their mothers, given a shoulder to cry on, and told everything is alright with them, and it's the fault of everyone else for placing standards on them. Doing this turns the little girl into a narcissist who toggles between insecure victim of the world, and egomaniac who can do no wrong. She believes herself infallible and omnipotent, then cries victim when she screws up, and cries discrimination when she doesn't accomplish everything she feels entitled to. And these body-positive support groups just offer a mothering shoulder to cry on. Just work on your looks the best you can, and then work on your personality. Always try to be the best you can be. You can start by changing out of those horrible clothes, letting your hair down, and actually dressing like you give a shit you're on a date.